Eddie over at American Made wants to know why you stocking up on magazines and why you stocking up on ammo. Well, I'll tell you why I do it. First of all, I just love doing it. And I know he said he wasn't getting on anybody's balls or nothing like that, or stepping on anybody's toes, but I'm just going to throw my opinion out there. I've said it in a video before, and but I'm going to say something new this time. As you can see, let me see if I can get you over there. I got half of my safe kind of full of ammo. And I got some guns and stuff, and you know, everything is nice and whatever. But the real reason for this video isn't to show you what I got. It's just more to say of why I need, or why I think I need what I got. Okay, it's really simple. Well, let me get to the part where a lot of people are going to be confused. Okay? The government that we have now is no different than the government we had when we started this whole thing, the Second Amendment. Our founding fathers knew that our government could become tyrannical at any point. They were tired of having tyrannical government. Okay, this is my opinion, but this is pretty much facts. If you use common sense, you'll think about this. You know, they started the Civil War, and you know the Civil War ended, and the Constitution was wrote. Okay, so they knew they'd always have to be fighting for their rights, but at least with the Constitution, it would help them do things more freely, but still have to fight for them. You know, because laws are meant to be broken, and the own government is going to break the laws that are on the Constitution. That's just the way it is. Okay, so that's a little part of it. I say, in my lifetime and your lifetime, I will never have to go to the extreme of using those magazines. The world that we live in now is a little bit different, and people cherish it a little more. I know I do. I want to see my kids grow. I hope that my kids bury me. You know, when I'm old and I've had my life and I've done the things that I wanted to do in life. I don't want to have to go out and die for a tyrannical government, because I don't think they're worth my blood. Even though freedom is worth my blood, and I will fight for freedom. Don't get me wrong. I'm afraid of ghosts, but I'm not afraid of dying or standing up for what I believe in. Don't get that twisted. Okay, but in my lifetime and your lifetime, we will never see that. I bet you anything, we will not see a government get so tyrannical that we have to go out in the streets and fight people. I don't think that's right. I don't think the shit hit the fan situation will ever happen in our lifetime. I think shit hits the fan situation for people, certain people in their homes. So this is good to have for your own protection at home. You know, I'll tell you a little story. My uncle, if he would have had this, or if he would have had at least an AR with the magazine, it would have been a whole lot different. He didn't die, but guys broke into his house, and it was multiple attackers. They tied him up, they beat him up, they beat up one of my cousins. Luckily, his wife, which is my aunt, wasn't home at the time. She had gone to Mexico, and she took their 4 little kids that were little at the time. I couldn't imagine what would have happened at the time. Luckily, the bad guy was so fucking stupid, didn't know how to use a shotgun. Shotgun didn't even work. Probably had some fucking dud rounds and shit. At the end, when they had robbed his money, they took all his guns, which weren't even loaded. You know, that's what I'm saying. Keep a gun loaded. Well, they were just hunting rifles. And it's a true story. They took all his things. They took the money, and they took about $3,000 or $4,000 that he had cash at home. And the guy, one of the guys said, "Kill him," at the end. And my uncle's like, you know, he's tied up. What could he do? Kill him. And that guy cocks his shotgun. Blast. Nothing. Goes off. Cocking, throwing shells everywhere. Bam, bam. I don't know if it didn't have firing pin or what. It didn't go off. Or my uncle had a really big guardian angel. Anyways, the guy, he knew he was there for too long. all he did was grab his shotgun and use it like a bat and hit my uncle in the face, broke his nose, and cut him up really bad. So those kind of situations are where I think it's needed. Something like that, a home defense situation. When I go to bed at night, I have my 33 round magazine. When I go to bed, or even if I get called outside by anybody, I got my 33 round magazine, a TLR1, and I plan to be prepared for that type of situation. That's why I have magazines and ammo. That's one of the reasons. I'll tell you another little reason, and this video is getting long, but I think it's only fair to say why I do it. See, if my uncle would have had that, he would have been able to protect himself. But he was kind of easygoing, and he wouldn't think anybody would be out to hurt him. But there are people that are out to hurt you. So that's one reason, or multiple, whatever. Another thing is, I hate going to the gun range, especially having like a brand new AR-15 and leave it in the truck. I don't care what part of town you're at, you can get robbed. I hate having to stop there, leave my gun, and buy ammo at the store, because obviously the gun ranges are real expensive. Oh, my stomach hurts. I've been having a bad stomach ache all day. Threw up last night. Anyways, not part of the video, whatever. I hate leaving my gun in the truck to go buy ammo, so I take some of the ammo I have here, put it in my range bag, load up my magazines, go to range and have fun. That's the way I do it. Take it for what it is. That's one of the things that I do it. And a lot of the times I'm glad I started stocking up before it was bad, because I had talked to a guy at Walmart. He said it was going to get really bad, and I just started stocking up. I want to be prepared to have fun, to shoot. Obviously 3 or 4 magazines full of ammo would be plenty to save or protect my homestead till the good guys get here. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, you don't need a whole lot of ammo to protect your home. 300 or 400 rounds of 223 or a rifle caliber, maybe 7.62, whatever. Whatever you can carry on your person is pretty much all you need. But for like me, people who like to be like me, prepared, they'll buy a little bit more ammo. And I suggest that you would buy ammo just for your own reasons. But honestly, come on, we're not gonna go out there and fight a tyrannical government. Our laws, and especially in my state of Texas, they're gonna fight tooth and nail to avoid bloodshed like that. I don't think we'll ever see that. I think times have changed. We have the upper hand on the government now, though, with the internet. I believe that in the '94, when the first assault ban was brought in, if there was the internet back then, they wouldn't have passed it. It wouldn't have been that easy for the people to pass it. So the internet really has brought us together, and just to keep up the good fighting, the fight, and as I mean fight as in use your First Amendment and express yourself and use your voice. I think that's one of the amendments that we use the most every day, all day. But be out there, be prepared. Everybody has their own reasons. Leave me a comment, let me know if I was wrong in saying that we're not going to have a tyrannical government. We've always had it. It just, I don't think it's going to go to that extreme of us going out there and doing what James Yeager said he would do. Alright, guys. Not dissing James Yeager either. I'm just saying. Leave me a comment. Alright, guys. You have a good one.